What if one short-term rental turned into multiple and then turned into of movement?
Some Googlers don't pay taxes. I'm like, what do you mean? We have zero deductions. Like, literally, we have zero deduction. There's nothing I can deduct. I was very resisting to mentors. I was sure it's a waste of money. And now I don't think so. I literally bought a property at 9% interest rate. And it was still cheaper than my original payment. Like, we couldn't wait. They had some tragedy in their family and they stayed in our cabin as a healing period for the whole family to live together. And they told us it was what we needed. And I cried and I read it.
This is episode 15 from STR owner to community builder, how Anastasia built multiple short-term rentals and is now helping others do the same. What if one short-term rental turned into multiple and then turned into of movement? Today's guest, Anastasia, didn't just stop building a portfolio of short-term rentals with her husband. She's now building a community to help others do the same. We're going to talk about how they got started, where their properties are, what worked, what didn't, and what made her decide to step into leadership. Anastasia, welcome to Chalkboards to Cash Flow.
Thank you. Nice to chat with you today.
Thank you for joining us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What were you and your husband doing before real estate?
Let's start with the fact that we are immigrants, right? We moved to the United States in 2008 for our MBA. And while my husband was born in the United States, he didn't grow up here. So we didn't know a lot about financial business, like financial side of the United States. It was very foreign to us. We came from a completely different background. And then, what do you do? You start a career, you would do your MBA, then you do your career, and then you work. And then, that's what you do, right? That's what you've been taught to. You don't carry too much debt. You just try to survive and good stuff. And then we moved to California. And if you know something about California, they tax you to death. And we had two W-2s, both worked in tech. So on paper, we looked amazing, right? There's high incomes. But again, if you know anything about California, you will discover you struggle day to day with pretty high income. And then somebody told me, like, in the passing, just buy real estate. I'm like, I've been surviving. I barely can pay my rent. And they told me, go buy real estate. What are you, nuts? What kind of price advice is that? And they're just like, oh, I told you, buy real estate. And they kind of like, whatever. It's literally my reaction, whatever. And then a couple of years passed and I worked for Google. And then some Googler tells me, some Googlers don't pay taxes. I'm like, what do you mean? We have zero deductions. Like, literally, we have zero deduction. There's nothing I can deduct. Not even my humongous student debt, right? Nothing. Yeah. And he's like, oh, you should look into it. And it kind of triggered a light bulb. So I started actually by reading a textbook. It's a very weird way to start in real estate in some point. It was my favorite book. I couldn't put it down. It was Tax Strategies by Amanda Han from Keystone. And I was amazed. She became my hero. Like, literally, how they say, like, some people admire stars and some people admire it. I admire a tax person. And I started researching. And initially, we started actually with long-term rentals. I didn't really understand all tax implications, so I just learned. And then I realized some actually pushed me to do short-term rentals and short-term rental tax loophole. And this is where it snowballed. This is how we actually started investing in short-term rentals, because we realized this is our only way to reduce our tax liability in a very legal, very structured way, by learning and by doing. So that's, as I said, the biggest trigger was the textbook. We just learning about taxes and how to be better, right? Because they always say there are two tax codes in the United States, one for knowledgeable and one for non-knowledgeable, and they're both legal. So I just decided to get a knowledgeable camp.
Exactly. No, and I love Amanda Han.
That book was an eye-opener.
Yeah.
Really.
All right. So the beginning, what was your very first STR? Because I know you have quite a few now.
Yeah, we're up to 7. Hopefully we're going to be by to 8 or 9 this year. Our first one is not our most successful. We'll be very, very honest. So we bought it during COVID. So remember, a lot of people bought during COVID and they made mistakes because COVID market was not your real market. It was not a normal market. So we're stuck in a house, two little kids. We're like, oh, where can we go? And again, California was very limiting where you can travel. So we traveled to 4 hours from San Francisco to a house with a pool. And we're like, oh, that looks really cool. How about we buy a house with a pool?
Mhm.
And we did. I didn't do enough research on the market. I didn't do enough money understanding. I didn't do enough lending on how to lend the money. Basically, we jumped head into this amazing house, which was way too much than what we budgeted for. And the first 2 years, it was going amazing. It was literally bringing so much income. And then COVID ended, and our North California house is not bringing enough income.
Right.
So that was our first STR. I did better next. So the person was not very successful. I still love that home. The reason why we still keep it, we might sell it off at some point, is because we planned it to be our retirement home. So it was always kind of it was second home for us. It's in a really nice place. So we'll see. It's also 11 acres inside of California, where you kind of like land is a great asset to have.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll only appreciate.
One can hope. And also we're looking, as you guys looking for those, we're actually thinking maybe in a year or two we can build our wellness resort. We've just had people asking about it. So there is a
Nice.
market out there. There is a market. So maybe we'll do it.
Definitely. What other markets are you in? I know you're out of state. And a couple
Wrestling
of
is completely out. Yeah, wrestling is
Yeah.
completely out of state. So my favorite is one of the most competitive markets in short-term rentals globally is Orlando, Disney.
Yes.
One thing I did kind of not disagree with a lot of people, but the influences like all these gurus will tell you, oh, this is very saturated market. But none of the fans, it means there are a lot of tourists there, there are a lot of people coming, and hopefully they don't go anywhere. University is not planning to move. So you always gotta have tourists. And people will still pay. So this is my favorite. We have two in Orlando, Florida. We about 10 minutes drive out of Disney.
Mhm.
Amazing. My favorite. I had so much fun designing that one with a professional designer, but that one was a lot of work, but also we did pour our heart and soul into that one. And it is one of our most printed ones. People, it's probably the most comments I get, that they get into our speakeasy and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Mhm.
So we have two there. We also have two in Hawaii. We spent 5 years in Hawaii, and it's another one of these markets, which is a bit more volatile, but it's not seasonal. So we pick that market as the best seasonal market.
Nice.
People always travel to Hawaii. It
Mhm.
just depends on your avatar changes, but people still travel. So we have two small condos in Waikiki on Oahu. I'm actually launching our second condo in the month because we just finished renovating.
Oh wow.
Oh man, renovating by far very far in an island in the middle of Pacific is not an easy treat. Oh, it was
No.
fun.
Getting things
was,
out there
and
is tough.
yes, getting things out there, getting a contractor, getting people actually do what they say they're gonna do, getting them answer to you. It's on island time, so it's a different experience.
Yeah.
You're different from Florida. And we have two more in Oklahoma, Broken Bow, Oklahoma. I never heard about that market until our mentorship, the one we met Michelle at.
Yeah.
Something about this cabin market was really like pulling strings from my heart. It's amazing area. It has a lot of tourists. Again, it's a market which draws a lot of tourism from surrounding area. It is a drive-in market, which is a bit more challenging for out of state investor. That means for you to get there is much harder than just fly in and kind of visit. I think why we expanded there after buying the first one was actually people. While it's really hard to find a lot of skilled team members there, everybody tries to help.
Nice.
There's a very rare like combination of people. Actually, they welcome the short-term rental. It's one of my criteria for every single market I ever picked. It was market where it's friendly to short-term rentals, where we're not stepping on anybody's toes. The regulations already in place, so they're very, very like in favor. And Broken Boy is one of this. There's not a lot of work in that area. So people run short-term rentals because it brings them income.
Yeah.
So it's a great to be in the market and people welcome you and they're always like, oh my God, more bookings, the merrier. We want more cleanings. We want more people here. So it's a really positive market in that sense. It's a bit more tricky because that one is really highly seasonal market. So there's a lot of, there are lower months and there are high months. So you need to be very on top of your revenue management strategy there. It's
Yes.
kind of like not shoot and forget market in this case.
Yes, we're in the slow season right now in the Smokies. January and February.
I know we did die open last year in the January, February, but it's still, it was expected. It's expected to be slow season. You expect to not to get enough revenue there.
Mhm.
I
just
was
have
like, I'm watching March as a hawk because we're doing it better than last year right now, but we still have a room to grow there. So it's like, oh man, I really want to. Every single booking comes, I'm celebrating.
Every booking counts. Yep, that's right. And you said you're expanding this year.
Yeah, we
That's
hope to
great.
expand more. We you know the BRR strategy from long-term rental, the one I did before. So we buying, you refinance, you renovate and you refine and raise and repeat. So we are doing this. We just I just started process for refinancing our Disney one. It
Okay.
is a very successful short-term rental. So we hope to appraise for much more than just standard home, not only due to renovation, but also due to the income that
Right.
house brings. So, and that will be the money going to
Buy
the
the
next investment.
Very
And
good.
obviously, the
Yeah.
tax returns you're getting every year, that's how you use it to move a needle to the next one.
Yep. So you've got a lot of different markets. You're kind of diversified. You've got the beach in Hawaii, you've got Florida with the theme parks in Orlando, and then you've got kind of the mountain area there in Broken Bow. Nice. Do you ever visit them with your family for vacation or?
We visit at least once a year.
Okay,
And
nice.
big believer, you need to experience your own product. You can't really like just count on others. So despite me really trusting most of my team on the ground, it's really important for me to actually be there and experience what our guests experience, sleep in the bed. For example, we just went recently to our California home. I hated the pillows. I'm now on the hunt for the amazing people because I'm like, man, these pillows are horrible. How people sleep on this? So it's right. So it was like, oh my God, this is how we come in. And I'm like, all the pots and pans. Like, what happened? What happened to all my
Yep, you find out
right?
things when you go. We're going to go to ours too pretty soon here. Just
I-
you don't know what
yeah.
happens.
So I try to visit sometimes in the lower season just to kind of keep the revenue going, but we definitely visit more than once. We just went in the so we purchased our second broken bowl in December last year. So that we did the visit,
Mhm.
we stayed there, we experienced it, and then obviously stopped by the second cabin. Found budget issues, compiled the whole list of things to fix. But yeah, I actually and I'm flying to Hawaii next.
Very nice. So a lot of people are afraid to invest out of state. They're worried about how will things get done. So tell us a little bit about your team in these states because you're not there and you're not going to fly out every time something happens. So what kind of a team do you have?
You know, one thing which actually convinced me to invest out of state in short-term rental was one of my mentors who said, you know, you're not a plumber. It's not like you're gonna necessarily go and unclog the toilet. You're probably gonna call a person. So then there are rare cases we did try once for 45 minutes, unclog the toilet once. But majority of the time you're not gonna do it. Even then
Right.
it's a very close rental. You're gonna pick up the phone and you're gonna call a person. So my strategy was always let's create an A team. You know, like a movie. I have my strategic A team. So
Yeah.
in all my properties, I try to compile a list where I have my best people, right? Obviously, my cleaners. And sometimes it takes time to find your best cleaner. Sometimes it's a success. Sometimes you're not that happy. And it takes time to find and kind of fine tune it. And then I'm always trying to find a good handyman. A lot of times they come recommended for cleaners, for the agent, for word to mouth, like for Facebook groups, but I usually try to keep on hand at least one good handyman.
You do it
And I
handy.
obviously, and I always try to keep the list of HVAC person, my electrician, my plumber, my appliance guy. This is like kind of like minimum photo book. And I build a relationship with them. And it varies by the market. For example, in Broken Bowl, I was able to build very close relationship with pricing of appliance person, with my HVAC guy. Handyman and electrician were harder to come by, but I'm working on it right now.
Mhm.
because it's just more challenging market. In Orlando, I have an amazing handyman. He is my like save me guy. Like either I can SOS him, say, hey, we have an SOS. Can you help? And
Yeah.
majority of the time he's able and he'll do it. And he's just this amazing person. He also does our inspections. So it's another tip I kind of learned from mentorship from people. Have an inspector, which is independent of your cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
And this is if it's your trusted person, like in our case in Florida, he'll notice things before they happen. Like
Yes.
either he says that so many times, he comes like, your propane is out. So he's now taking care of propane for a fire table. Or he's like, cleaners didn't really clean the oven. He literally once cleaned the oven because he was not happy with the cleaning level of the oven.
How
But
often
he's
are you
not.
doing those? How often is he inspecting?
So in Disney, he inspects our what we call big Disney house every
Mhm.
single turnover, unless he has something, because he also works full time. It's his like side gig.
Wow.
He tries
Okay.
to inspect it before every check-in. It is a very complicated house.
Yeah.
It's beyond your normal, my cabin. It's also different audience. So my avatar in the cabin, they're way more forgiving. They were like, oh, there was a mold in the bathroom, but here are 5 stars. I was like, man, I would, oh my God, this is like terrible. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. So I immediately send the cleaners, but they're more like relaxed. Like, oh my God, I had this amazing stay. It was phenomenal. Yeah, but we're like, these things didn't work. In Disney, it will not fly. People
Right.
will literally be upset the second is to, like, we had a guest like recently.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, it's an amazing themed house. Like it's phenomenal. It's everything.
It is. I've seen it.
It's just one of my biggest proudest creation, right?
Yeah.
The first sentence the guest sends, I'm a little bit underwhelmed by the deck cleanliness. It's a deck. We just went through a horrible freeze in Florida. It was raining nonstop. It's hard. I'm like, okay,
Right.
I'm so sorry. What? Tell me more. The lounger has mold. And it's fair. It's fair. The lounger was not clean enough. I'm like, okay, you know what? What can I do? I can send you a new lounger. We ship a new lounger. An hour later, can you give us an update on the lounger? I'm like, dude, it's in the middle of the night. The lounger will come tomorrow. It's not gonna ship in an hour. There was nothing, and then calls us by Walmart.
Yeah.
Right? And you know what killed me? He didn't say thank you. I'm like, I know it sounds petty. And I'm like, I just shipped a new lounger. The person came and pressure washed the old loungers. You got everything. Any chance to just like be more? But that's what your Disney gets, right? They expect
They're
a lot,
very, very
and they're very
demanding.
demanding, and they're not always polite. And my Oklahoma guests they're always way more polite. They're always more like they're warmer.
Yeah.
The avatar is much warmer. It's a different avatar you cater to. So there we don't do this like breaking the inspection. I do insist still on deep clean every 3 months or just before and after our busy season, including septic. My biggest tip for everybody who use septic, make sure to take care of this stuff because
Yep.
stuff will happen. Right on your most demanding guest. It's terrible. But in Disney we do it every turnover just because it's it's a complicated home, has
Right.
5 different PlayStations, and you need to make sure all of them are on. You have Golf Simulator, which needs to be checked. That it's there, it's functioning, it's charged. So it's like
Mhm.
a lot of moving pieces in that house.
How do you handle all of the guest communication with 6 different houses? How does that work?
I didn't want to listen to Tony, our mentor first, and then I did listen to Tony.
Yeah, I
I was
remember.
very resistant. So he said yes, it's hospitable and unspeakable. I actually don't know how he pronounced it though. Oh, that one.
Hospitable. Yeah.
I was kind of, I don't know. I evaluated 3 different tools and I went with hospitable. And I like the communication AI suggestions because again, I'm an immigrant. English is not my first language. I have, my grammar is not perfect, which sucks, but still. So I use the communication suggestions from the AI tool, which makes my communication more professional. Also, I really enjoy the fact that they do check the law, so maybe behind and sometimes remove things which can be riskier. So I really appreciate that. We do have now a VA, which is very helpful. We didn't have until 6 months ago. So we got our first VA 6 months ago. Until that, I keep all my communication. But we have 3 people now, right? Myself, my husband, and our VA. We always try to communicate as fast as possible because Airbnb, and I assume Verbo is well outranking you on how fast you respond. And I said AI tools are now the best friend. I don't
Oh,
know
they
when they're
are.
gonna take us
They
out and
really
become
see.
out monsters, but right now they're your best friend. I'm telling you, they're gonna take over the world. I'm like, that's silence.
They
Um,
are.
but today it's really helpful because at the end they make it more professional. Like I do change it like to be more my tone,
Mhm.
and but it's very helpful to have it. It's especially it sometimes helps like if it's a repeating answer, it just remembers it. We have people who don't know how to operate a hot tub in Disney because it's really weird you operate it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to operate it well, to be honest. And AI knows now. When somebody asks about how to like click suggested AI, I can just basically like, oh, here's the
Yeah.
video, here's everything you need to
The
know.
hot tub directions. That is
Yeah,
a
it's very
problem.
helpful. Florida has weird hot tubs. I tell you, it's such a weird invention because they're not standalone. They're attached to the pool. And they
Oh, they're
have
attached to a pool. Can you have to drain them though?
No, you can't. It's a whole pool.
So
You
we're
just
in
have
the
to clean them really
Philippines,
well.
and after every stay, you drain the hot tub and then refill it again. I guess it's the standard there, but our
Same
water
with
bill is
Broken Bow.
so high. Is it Broken Bow that way
Same with
too? Oh
Broken
my
Bow.
gosh. Yep.
Actually, our California hot tub person said you have to do it as well every guest. I'm like, did you see my water bills? I can't do it in California. They will kill me. It's just a state which can serve water. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You don't have
So
too much water. So it's a
sometimes
challenge.
the worst complaint is when they arrive and they say the hot tub's not hot. And I'm like, well, we just had a turn, and you do realize we have to drain the hot tub and refill it every time. So if you give it a couple hours, it'll be hot. Trying to
Yeah,
explain that.
and sometimes when we in Broken Bow, it's a very rural district. It's
Yeah.
a small district. It's not even incorporated. So sometimes the issues with water. We had an issue that I getting a text like not 2 hours before they check in. The water in the hot tub is brown.
Mhm.
We can't do anything. So there was an issue with the water, and they keep texting everybody, please don't fill hot tubs, please don't fill because they couldn't fill the water tanks in the district. It was just
Yeah.
not going up because everybody was filling the hot tub. So like, man, this is like different, right? You learn this thing. So I'm on this messages now from like the rural water district, from our internet company, from our power company, because it's a different communication there. It's very rural, so it's very
Yeah, a
very
lot of
challenging
different.
sometimes. It's not like big city.
What what advice would you give to someone who's looking for their first STR?
I think, hey, don't overlearn it on one hand because a lot of people just go and they learn and study stuff. They're afraid to take the exam. So it's a good balance, right? You need to know enough not to make mistakes like having paid,
Mhm.
but also don't overanalyze it. Don't let analysis paralysis kind of stop you from your first one. Maybe consult somebody, maybe work with somebody. Don't be afraid to take mentors. I was very resisting to mentors.
Mhm.
I was sure it's a waste of money. And now I don't think so. And so I really suggest people go find your mentor, find your person,
Yep.
be it somebody who you trust, because they will help you. I think they will cross you through it. Like they help you cross through it.
Yes. They help you
Because
get
that's the
to the
biggest
finish
thing, right?
line faster.
And I think find the market, maybe for the first one, find the market you feel confident about. And I know Tony is different, for example, our mentor, Tony, right? He invests purely with numbers. Some people do purely with numbers. Some do a bit different. So I cannot do purely numbers. So I want my market. I want to feel something about market. I want to come visit there. It's important to me. It's important to me that I will actually enjoy people in that market. I will enjoy meeting them. I will enjoy working with people. And honestly, I will be enjoying visiting it. Well, hence
Yes.
Orlando. Orlando first started as just a dream. I visited Disney the first time I was 30. My first Disney. I grew up in Soviet Union. Disney was prohibited. We couldn't watch Disney movies. It was all propaganda. It's all
Oh,
capitalism.
wow.
Propaganda.
Uh-huh.
So I literally didn't see any Disney movie until I was way into my teens, I think. I don't know why. It was such a period of time. But I fell in love with Disney. I'm like this Disney adult in a way. I'm not like one of the crazies, but I really enjoy Disney, which is kind
Yeah.
of cute. And I think I enjoy Disney more than my kids today. So Disney was always my dream. I did run the numbers and I did sit down. It took me a year actually to cross this kind of fear because it is a competitive market. But
Mhm.
I have this amazing agent. I have amazing support system in Disney, and it's my favorite today. I hope to expand there more because
Yeah.
it's also fun one. It's kind of fun to make this amazing experience for everybody and people coming and saying, "Oh my God, this was amazing vacation." Kids didn't want to leave the house. Literally, my favorite is when the people tell me, "Kids go to Disney, they won't stay in the house." Like we got this from people.
Yeah. Yeah. We like to buy in places that we want to go to or that we would like to visit and create spaces that we would want to stay in.
Right?
So it is fun.
And the people feel it. Then you have this space you enjoy. Again, you need to cater towards your avatar. You need to understand your avatar. You know necessarily your avatar, but there's something being relatable, right? As I said, you want a good pillow for your guests. You want a good mattress for your guests. You want to create this also space where people can actually enjoy themselves. And each space will be different. So our cabin is very different from our Disney home. And they fit different avatars. And if for different people have different enjoyment, I guess, points. So, but
Mhm.
I tell you that we got once a text from people who stayed in our cabin. They had some tragedy in their family and they stayed in our cabin as a healing period for the whole family to gather together. And they told us it was what they needed. And I cried and I read it because it was so touching. It was so
Yeah.
important for me that they really enjoyed not just staying in the cabin, but it was that healing, amazing moment for them. And they were so excited. They sent us all these photos of the fish they caught in our pond and how they were together. It really touched me. It was really, really, oh my God, this is like amazing feeling.
Yeah.
I guess that's part
Great.
why we do it, right? We do enjoy making people happy.
That's great. All right. We're going to shift gears a little because you didn't just stop at building your own portfolio. Now you're starting your own community to help others do the same. What inspired you to create it?
I've been explaining to people and talking to people and trying to convince them to invest for the longest time. I
Mhm.
wrote documents. So when I was on Google, I was talking to my coworkers and explaining to them what I do, to my boss, to everybody. And then I actually ended up I left Google and then we have this ex Google's community and I put together documents. And now actually Warren, who is one of my biggest champions, he gives it to everybody he meets. He gives my document. People read it. Oh my God, I need to talk to your wife. He's like, can you just open the business? Because people want to talk to you. They want to learn. But I feel so like scared. Like there's something here. What if I don't know the past, right? It's kind of scary, but I actually want people do that, right? I want people, especially people in my tech community, where they desperately want to know how to do better and how to
Mhm.
build more wealth for their kids and how to build something they can actually, enjoy in retirement. But they just have no idea. They never heard about these things. They know stocks really well because that's what they
Mhm.
do, right? They all get stocks, they all invest in the market. But they don't necessarily know how to help themselves to pay a bit less tax, to invest into something they can pass to the kids. That's something they can actually enjoy themselves and enjoy the tax actually while they enjoy it, right?
Mhm.
It's kind of interesting that for us it's so natural, right? We all know that tax loophole, we all talk about it, but for them, they never heard about it. And I stopped talking to people and they're like, what? What is bonus depreciation? What? What are you talking about? So it's kind of it's part of helping people learn more, understand more, and they
Yeah.
just said to me that they don't know.
Yep.
I would
Exactly.
wait. To be completely honest, I want them to avoid mistakes I made as when I just started because I didn't know enough. It made me so much that I didn't know. Like I wish I started
Exactly.
10 years younger. I wish I was like one of those youngsters like commemorative, right? That's young. Like, how did I not know all these things? I wish I was 10 years younger.
Yep.
It
I
just
do too. Wish I
right?
started
It's like
younger.
no, it's not because you didn't know anything. You didn't know about good debt, bad debt. Oh, when you having debt is bad, having this bad. Like now, like, oh man, wish somebody was there for me to tell me all of that.
So that's great. Where can people find your community or find you if they want to find out more?
Right now for my Instagram account, I'm not very active. I'm learning and learning. I admit it's not it's I don't know if it's a generation thing or just me thing, but this whole like Instagram hard.
Yep,
I'm
I
struggling.
agree.
I'm
I'm
trying.
trying to.
I so hard, but I also building my own website again. This is talking about learning things. So I'm learning a lot about AI and building my website, and then we will go to my Instagram as well, obviously. Um, it's a great learning experience.
Yep.
Learning a lot about new tools and using it for every single aspect of the business.
Yep.
We're going to see so much shift in the next couple of years. I'm just both terrified and excited at the same time.
Exactly.
And I spent so many years in tech. I spent 20 plus years in tech. And I saw the shift from like, yeah, I graduated my undergrad right after the dot-com
Mhm.
failure in 2000 something. And then mobile era. I was one of the first mobile navigations in the phone. And we saw iPhone coming out and we saw everything jumps. And then so many different waves and the technology just gets faster and faster and faster. And changes are so crazy. It's kind of like crazy to see the humanity changes every single year the
Mhm.
way we didn't expect, right? 20 years ago, my job didn't exist. The one I did in tech, right?
Yeah.
Today it's so popular. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see. I'm kind of terrified what my kid's going to be, but I guess
I
it's
know.
fun to
You
figure
wonder
out.
what the next generation's going to come up with. What keeps you going when things get hard? Because a lot of people want to do it, but they're afraid to start. But what kept you going?
I think it was learning and it was passion because it is hard. And some days you're like, oh man, and it's like this guest did that, and this, but you learn. I used to be more affected by guests and their bad behaviors because some guests are challenging. That's what it is my way. Very challenging. And the amount of lenience to go through is not environmentally friendly at this point. I don't know how people don't so many trouble in their life. But I find beauty in subtle things. I find beauty in the comments from people. I find beauty in people do find out places as special for them and they have great memories and they thank us for that, right? This is something very touching. And it's also, then I started investing in real estate. It started in 2016, I think, 17.
Mhm.
Our first long-term investment. I fall in love with real estate. It's like a
Yeah.
bug. Once it's hit you again, it's addictive. I always tell people, be careful, it is addictive. You will want to buy property every single year because there's just
I
something
know.
amazing about it, right?
I
Um,
didn't buy anything last year, and I'm like, I need a property. I need a property
no,
this
you
year.
get some depreciation. You can't do that. You can't
I
do that. While
know.
Trump is in office, you have to do it because I don't know what's going to happen once he leaves the office, right? I don't know.
That is true with
Where-
the bonus depreciation back. So that's one little
right?
perk. But yeah, the bonus.
Big bird. Oh, that's a really big bird. But even though my thinking about it, we don't know what's going to happen in 3 years and 3 weeks notice, right? We don't know. And if it changes, because now it depends who comes to the government next, right? Do they want to keep this loopholes or not? So I say use them while we still have them. And
Mhm.
it's hard because we don't know the changes coming and we don't know what's going to happen. And the market will shift and life will change. People like waiting for interest rate to come down. If it comes down, refinance. Like that's your best thing. Don't I literally bought a property at 9% interest rate.
Wow. Yeah, but
God, why your money out? And it was still cheaper than my original payment. But
mhm.
we couldn't wait. We needed it for taxes. We needed to invest because market is also kind of if interest comes down, market will come up. So it will be harder to buy. It's better to go in than the price is lower.
Yep. You never know. So buy now. What is that saying? The best time to buy real estate was yesterday
20 years ago.
or 20 years ago. The next best time is today or something. Yeah. It's
Some of
only
that,
going to
yeah.
get more expensive.
I'm sure there will be dips in the market at some point. For example, I just read a whole report on Orlando saying that the market is dipping. And they say, oh, the best performing are 8 bedrooms. I'm like, I don't know, I have 6 bedrooms, performs not going good, perfectly fine. And actually the ground, it looks like 3 bedrooms performing really well. So
Mhm.
I think a lot of it is also we read a lot, we let others influence us. But there's something of the being on the ground and seeing it firsthand and trying it. It's different than just reading about it and like, oh, this report said that, this report. Like, there are a lot of influencers who told me, I will not touch Orlando. It's too competitive. Okay.
And you're doing great. Well, Anastasia, thank you so much for sharing your journey.
Thank you.
I met you about a year ago, I think, in Tony's mentorship and the Real Estate Robinsons, I guess it's called.
I think
Tony
so.
and Sarah Robinson.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
call it Tony's.
But anyways, we met about a year ago and we were kind of both doing the same thing. So it's fun to hear how you're growing really fast, a lot faster than we are. But thank you
It
for
was,
sharing your journey.
well, we might, life sometimes slows you down. It was an interesting year last year. So let's hope
Yeah.
2026 is better than 2025 for all of us.
You were trying to get something live before Christmas, I remember, trying to get your latest one live.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did. We bought it on December 19th. We launched it. We had our first guest on December 20th.
Oh my gosh.
It was delayed by like 3
close.
weeks. It was really kind of close. Yes. So we hope this year we're going to start looking in June, July to see if we can get anything for this year. We'll see how situation goes. We had a lot of turmoil last year. So we're trying to get our footing back. So we'll hope it's, I'm learning a lot. I'm doing better every year. I feel like I'm doing a little bit better in my processes every year. My booking is better this year. My communication is better this year. We kind of do things every year a little bit better, bit by bit. You always say, oh, why didn't I do it last year?
Exactly. You learn by doing.
There's
You
no
learn
other
by
choice.
Well, thank you. So what was your Instagram handle again? So people can follow.
Root Investments.
Root Investments. Okay. Be sure to check out Anastasia's Instagram so you can find out her information. And as always, join us in the Chalkboards to Cashflow community and follow on at Chalkboards to Cashflow on Instagram. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll chat later. Bye. Thanks for listening to Chalkboards to Cashflow, where we turn real estate dreams into real life wins for teachers and everyday investors. If this episode helped you feel a little more confident or inspired, make sure to follow, leave a review, and share with a friend. And don't forget to join our free Facebook group, Chalkboards to Cashflow, where we support each other every step of the way. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing. And remember, you don't need to be rich to start. You just need to start.